Hi, my name is Anna and welcome back to my channel. I have decided to start a new series where every month I will be choosing my Amazon First Reads with you. If you don't know what Amazon First Reads is, it's basically a free ebook that you get every month if you have Amazon Prime. I think you can still get these books even if you don't have Prime, and they're like $5 each. So typically you get one free ebook that you get to choose from, but every so often they would do an additional one, like you get to choose two, or you get a free short story. I don't know when it started, but it seems like every month recently they have been doing a free short story. They call it the bonus short read, and you get to choose one full-length novel. So really, for a while now, I've been getting a free short story and a free novel, and I don't read these every month. A lot of the time they kind of just collect on my Kindle, and I go back and pick one every so often and choose one to read. And this is also how I have been finding all of the short stories that I've been reading. I have been loving having short stories on my Kindle. Sometimes I need kind of like a palate cleanser in between longer books that I'm reading each month. So having all of these short stories just available for me to choose from has been really nice. I think there have only been a couple that I have skipped, even though they're free. I didn't choose to download them. I think it was because they were something that I knew I wouldn't be interested in. But for the most part, I do just download whatever the bonus short read is, and then I choose one of the other books. Honestly, sometimes I don't even read the synopsis of the short read. I mean, you get it for free, regardless of choosing another book. So anyway, but for the sake of these videos, I will be reading the synopsis of those short reads, downloading that, and then together we will choose the full-length novel that I will download for that month. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So the bonus short read for this month is a thriller called The Replacement by Liv Constantine. I also tend to go off of the star rating on Goodreads, and that does help determine what books I end up downloading, but because this is the little extra freebie, I'm probably going to download it regardless. It has a 3.5 average rating on Goodreads. So these are actually also books that have not technically been published yet. So this one publishes June 1st. Once Hollywood royalty, Veronica Van Arden has been upstaged by box office flops and tabloid gossip. But when she lands a role in a promising film, a comeback finally seems possible, especially with the support of her young and adoring co-star, Sienna Vale. As Veronica weathers a new scandal, Sienna stays firmly by her side, a bright spot in Veronica's days. But as Veronica welcomes her protege into every part of her life, they both might find that the brightest lights cast the darkest shadows. Okay, that sounds good. Okay, so let's go ahead and download that one. Okay, so now moving on to the other books. We're starting with a women's fiction called Two Lives with You by Lauren Ho. This has a 3.5 average rating on Goodreads. And this doesn't have a synopsis on here. Okay, let me see. Let me see if Amazon has it. Okay, there's a synopsis on this one. Okay, it says, what if they never married? For an overwhelmed husband and wife, that what if wish comes true in an emotional and bittersweet novel about choices, sacrifice, and the love that they might lose forever. When Dana and Nigel got married, they had such a promise. After 16 years, the cracks are showing. Dana is a burned out ER nurse, and Nigel is a recently unemployed stay-at-home dad whose professional identity is disappearing. Questioning the directions their lives have taken, Dana and Nigel are each granted a wish from a mysterious stranger. For 1 week, they can escape the pressure of their lives in favor of one in which they never married. Waking up in an alternate reality where their youthful individual dreams have come true is at first a marvel. When they meet by chance in Bali, Dana recognizes Nigel instantly, but he feels only an inexplicable connection to this stranger, and they discover there's a catch to their wishes. Returning to normal and to the long-haul love they vowed would be forever won't be as easy as they thought. As the clock ticks down, Dana and Nigel face an impossible choice that will test the very foundation of the relationship and alter their lives forever. That sounds good. I wonder why it doesn't have the highest ratings. I kind of want to read that. Okay, let's see. The next one is a police procedural. This one is called Murder by Design by Lee Goldberg. I don't usually have the most interest in police procedurals, but I think I have chosen a few in the past. So we will read this and give it a try. Oh, this is actually the start of a series. In a world carefully constructed by murder, solving crimes takes a keen mind and eye in a witty, clever, and fresh reinvention of the whodunit. Edison Bixby is wealthy, handsome, and due to a traumatic brain injury, impulsively rude. He's also a brilliant insurance investigator who solves baffling crimes by figuring out how the design of the man-made world around us makes them possible. Enter Wally, a struggling actor hired to keep Bixby from offending everyone he meets. Their first case together looks like a simple accident. Caroline Crowley took a nasty fall down a staircase at a shopping mall in front of dozens of witnesses. Video clearly shows the deadly misstep, but Bixby is certain she was murdered by design, subtly manipulated into causing her own demise. The mall itself made the crime intentional, if not inevitable. Now Bixby must prove his outrageous theory before a cunning killer gets others on his hit list to murder themselves too. It has a 4.2 average rating, so that does sound interesting. I've never read anything by this author, but I have seen a number of books by him, so I'm kind of curious about that. I can definitely see myself picking that one up. We'll keep it in the running. Okay, the next book is called The Promise of Wonder. This is a historical fiction by Catherine Webb. Oh, this is the start of a trilogy as well. It has a 4-star average rating, so that's pretty good. In her family's rambling manor house in Dorset, 15-year-old Theodora Hallowell dreams of magic, adventure, and Toby Merriweather. As Toby prepares to leave for university, Theo plans a midnight gathering, one last chance to make Toby notice her. By dawn, a tragic mistake will shatter the world as they know it. Years later, Toby has built a respectable life in London, scarred by the past but determined to put it behind him. Theo, struggling with the aftermath of what happened, has begun to fear that the life she has built is more fragile and far more dangerous than she ever imagined. Both live under the shadow of that fateful night, until a startling discovery casts what happened in a whole new light and offers a chance to right the wrongs that have haunted them for so long. Spanning 3 decades, The Promise of Wonder is a spellbinding story of lost love, atonement, and the long journey toward forgiveness. I am typically a historical fiction person, but this one doesn't have me super excited for some reason. The other two, I think, are winning over that. The next one is a serial killer thriller. It's called The Confession Artist by Christine Carbo. Okay, this one has a 3.7 average rating. A killer dubbed The Confession Artist is posting sketches of potential victims on social media, and paranoia spreads as strangers across the nation admit to their sins, fearing you have 6 days. What? Okay, sometimes Goodreads descriptions, like I don't know who wrote this. This doesn't make sense. Okay, fearing you have 6 days to confess or die. Is that supposed to be in quotes? I'm not sure. Then former cop and first-year PI Crosby Mitchell sees a sketch that bears a striking resemblance to her. How can that be? She's a nobody from Flathead Valley, Montana. Crosby dismisses it in an unnerving coincidence, if not for one unmistakable detail that makes the threat hard to ignore. When the FBI is contacted, they're convinced that Crosby is the next target. So is she. Crosby has 6 days left to fess up online to something plaguing her conscience. But even if she wanted to play the killer's game, she has more than one secret. And if she ever dares to expose them for the world to see, the truth will destroy her. That's exactly what the confession artist wants. Ooh, that sounds good. The only thing with these is I don't know how graphic they are. Sometimes with these free books, I don't really want to sit and go through all of the reviews and see if they have content that maybe I don't want to read. I'd rather choose something else that is less likely to have content that I don't want to read. But it does sound like a good book though. Like it's interesting. But I do think the other ones are going to be a little higher on my list. Okay, the next one is a romance, and I don't usually like romance. Typically I would skip this, but for the sake of the video, let's go ahead and read it. Okay, this is called The Magic of Us by Beth Marilyn and Danielle Modafferi. I'm not good at pronunciation of names and places. And anyway, The Magic of Us. This has a 4-star rating. So if you like romance, 4 stars is pretty good. Okay. When a magic spell rewrites her past, a love skeptic radio host must decide whether to protect her heart or finally risk it. Elliot West has built her brand on rejecting love. On her hit radio show, she trashes fairy tale endings and insists happily ever afters are nothing more than a marketing ploy. Cynicism sells, and for Elliot, it's paid off big time. But when a mysterious tarot card reader, that would be immediate no for me. Typically if I see that, I would stop reading the synopsis and just skip over it. But in case you're interested, when a mysterious tarot card reader casts a spell on her, Elliot laughs it off until she wakes up the next morning in a life she doesn't recognize. Leo, her summer fling, is suddenly her boyfriend, as if they never said goodbye. Soon a family wedding, and Belize forces Elliot to confront all the reasons she swore off love in the first place. Between dodging old wounds, navigating her mother's fourth trip down the aisle, and making sense of a reality where she and Leo picked up right where they left off, Elliot starts to question everything. Torn between the life she's built and a love she never believed in, Elliot must decide if this new reality is a second chance she didn't know she was waiting for. Pass. So far, Two Lives with You, I think, is my top choice, but Murder by Design actually sounds pretty good too. So the next one is a suspense. It's called The Girl in the Lake by Lauren Oliver. This is also the start of a series. It has a 4.2 average rating though. That's really good. Kate Willis, consultant for the Division of Perceptual Studies at the University of Virginia, is tasked with interviewing 6-year-old Henley Haskell about the girl's alleged past life recollections. The evaluation also marks a return for Kate to Stockbridge, Massachusetts, and to troubling recollections of her own. Here, 24 years ago, Kate's friend Becca McGuire vanished from her bunk at a now shuttered summer camp and was never seen again, presumably drowned in Lake Saquamet. Okay, a summer camp thriller. I love those. But the mystery of her disappearance is only deepening. Because Henley's memories of her other life are ones that could only belong to Becca. For Kate, Henley's reoccurring, suffocating nightmares and her disturbing illustrations of places she has never been seem to spell out the unbelievable. Somewhere, somehow, the truth about what really happened to Becca is locked inside this little girl. No. As Henley's uncanny memories surface, so do old secrets, each one drawing Kate inexorably back to that terrible, long ago summer by the lake. Is this paranormal? See, I like summer camp thrillers, but that sounds questionable. Why does this child have I don't know. That makes me think a little bit of, what was that book that everybody was reading? I think my husband read it. Oh my gosh, what was the name of it? Do I have it over here? Let me see. Hidden Pictures. That reminds me of Hidden Pictures. I think just the illustrations that this child is drawing. Let's pass. Let's skip that one. Okay. The next one is a women's fiction called Westerly by Susan Donovan Bernhard. Oh, this has a 4.3 average rating. That's good. In 1946, two German sisters, child refugees in a program dubbed Operation Shamrock, arrive in Ireland to live in foster care while Europe recovers from war. Nearly 50 years later, on a fateful day in a bustling Maine farmhouse, an Irish newspaper clipping threatens to unravel Faye Sullivan's carefully constructed life with husband William and daughters Mauve and Molly, a life already on the brink of collapse. When tragedy strikes and the Sullivans grapple with a cascade of buried secrets, Faye must confront the truth of a childhood summer in West Cork, marked by adventure, heartbreak, and a life-altering decision that now jeopardizes everything she holds dear. And while their bonds may not be what they seemed, those bonds might be the one thing strong enough to help the broken Sullivan family navigate the truth and find their way forward together. That sounds like something I would choose pretty quick. And the locations, Ireland and Maine, two places I've never been, but I love to read about anyway. Wow, that's pretty up there. Yes, that sounds good. Okay, what was the other one about again? Two Lives with You? What if they were never married? Okay, I think Westerly is officially in first place, and we have one more. So this last one is a contemporary fiction called The Quitters Club by Jessica Strasser. And this one has a 4.2 average rating. So some of these have really good ratings. I feel like that doesn't always happen. Usually there's like maybe one or two that are in the 4-star range, and a lot of them are closer to like 3.5 maybe. So I feel like we have a good selection this month. Okay, so The Quitters Club, a hopeful and empowering novel about the messy beauty of female friendship and the deep courage it takes to rebuild a life at any age. When the 4 ride-or-die friends reunite for a getaway, they're desperate for a break, a chance to reconnect. But each is hiding a deeper reason why. Marie feels like an imposter teaching how to say no seminars, while her marriage has evolved into something she has never said yes to. Brooke's most heartfelt goal, motherhood, is proving out of reach. Lucy's dream career has broken her spirit, possibly for good. And Collins feels trapped in a grief by her late husband's legacy. All their lives, they've encouraged each other not to give up, but they can't do this anymore. Now, at a breaking point, they make a quit and help each other through the fallout. At first, it's positively liberating. A husband gets a much-needed wake-up call, a singles retreat is a widow's perfect escape, a very public career exit becomes a never-too-late return to college, and a childless life becomes a bold new plan to travel the world. But letting go will be more complicated than they imagined. Confronting hard truths about love, loss, and starting over, these 4 women must discover what's worth fighting for and what's truly best left behind. Here's the thing. I don't usually like books that follow multiple characters, or like more than 2 characters, because I like being able to really dive into 1 or 2 characters' lives. It's a little different if it's a series, because you can introduce a few additional characters and get to know those characters over a series of books. But when it's a single book and we're focusing on 4 characters, that feels like a lot. But I'm kind of in the mood for a contemporary fiction, which doesn't always happen. So I think it's between Westerly and The Quitters Club. Regardless, I think both of these are going on to my TBR. So I think because I'm not really wanting a historical fiction right now, I think I'm actually going to choose The Quitters Club. Okay, done. Okay, so those are my books for the month. I chose The Replacement, which was an extra freebie, so of course, right? And The Quitters Club. So if you choose your Amazon First Reads every month, I would love to know what you chose and why you chose it, because I'm always curious what other people go for. I also don't know how many people actually use the Amazon First Reads. Obviously, a number of people do. There's tons of reviews on all of these books already. However, I don't think I've ever seen anybody on YouTube talk about the Amazon First Reads books. So if you do utilize that, I would love to know that, and I would love to know what you chose. If you don't use it, or maybe you haven't chosen your books this month, let me know what you would choose, or if you think that I should have chosen something different. If any of these sound interesting to you, all of those books are releasing, I think all of them were June 1st. I could be wrong, but I think so. Let me know if you would like to see more of these videos. My plan right now is to make this a series. So I plan to do this monthly and go through all of the First Reads books and choose them with you. And if you are interested, maybe I'll do a poll at some point on YouTube for when I should release these videos. Typically, I do choose these books more toward the end of the month because I like to see what other people have chosen and how the reviews are doing on these books. But I could also choose them at the beginning of the month if that's something that other people are interested in, and maybe you like to choose your books right away and we can choose them together. So yeah, let me know. Let's have a conversation about this in the comments. I would love to talk more about Amazon First Reads because I feel like nobody else talks about it. And so I would love to have some conversations around that. But until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Bye.